What is my project today? Well, I'm going to be painting just this door trim from here down to there. This was a bathroom when we moved in. I didn't have enough time to finish painting the bathroom, so when I painted the door casing and the doors, I painted the doors out in the garage, and when I painted this door casing, I painted it all the way on the outside, all the way over to about here, knowing that I was going to have to do this later and cutting in the top. I've already cut in the top. I put masking tape along the top edge and the left-hand edge, and I even got that top edge. And it's best to do that whenever you're painting door frames, because the white paint, this white paint is slightly different than the old white paint that they had on there. You see what I mean? And so now I want to get in there and paint that, and I'm just using a little cut-in brush, 2-inch cut-in brush. I just put a little bit of paint in a little container here, and all I'm going to do is one coat, and I'm going to, like this top rail, I'm going to end up doing the whole top rail from left to right, the entire thing, before I do anything else. Because with semi-gloss paint, it starts wanting to skin up if you're not careful. But on this edge, I'm going to go ahead and do this corner, you know. And I figured since I did the edge, I just leave that masking tape up there until I get done. And with semi-gloss, you know, I had already prepped these door frames and lightly sanded them and did some touch up and caulked them and made sure that the doors were plumb, and I had to fix some sagging doors and stuff before I did the doors and adjusted everything. I did all that before I took the doors and painted them and stuff, okay? Now, you want to blend that stuff in, and see, I don't want to go over to the far left again, because the paint will have already started to skin, and I'm liable to pull an edge. And if you've ever worked with semi-gloss paint, you know what I'm talking about when you're doing door frames, okay? I'm just getting out of that edge, and now I can finish this, and I'm just going down to there, and now see, I can go back and forth that way. I see one little spot right there I'm going to get. Okay, that's all I'm going to do on the top. I'm not, like I say, I'm not going to go all the way over to there again, because the paint is already starting to skin. There's only so much you can do on the door jamb and the casings before it starts skinning up with the paint. So you got to kind of move quickly, evenly. And I took the door off. I even took the hinges off, because I want to get this whole edge. You can't do that if you leave the hinge on. Oh yeah, I'll just paint around that. Way easier to do it this way. Okay. A little bit more paint on there. And now start where you left off, and then I can taper that. You know, I'm only putting on so much paint until I feel comfortable. Now I can kind of start from the top and come down, okay? And that's all I'm going to do right there until I move down. I'll get you, you can see me, okay? I'm not going to go all the way up. I can see where I ended up, because I have my construction light on and so forth. And with this little brush, man, it makes it so easy. Now I can take it there and just go up, you know, where I blend it in. Once you know you got enough paint on there, you can blend it. And see, I can't go all the way up anymore because it's going to mess up that top bit I've already put on. But it doesn't matter, because as long as I know that, now see, you saw I only did so much. Up, like that, and that little section's done. Okay, and so it's not a race, and you don't have to go any more than that, and just only put on so much paint. Don't try to stretch it out too far. Try to do it about the same each time. Okay? I don't need to fill up that much on my paintbrush. I'm only going to go to there. I could go all the way down if I want, but then I've got to get some more paint in there to get it all nice and even. See, with semi-gloss, you got to get your paint even as you're going. Okay, and I gotta move that. I had some craft paper on the ground, and now it's moved a little bit because I've been in here working, and I've got the I'll just do that. I put masking tape all the way down, so I can do that. That's fine. And I can see where I left off right in there. And with this little paintbrush, you can hold the paintbrush however you want because it doesn't have a handle. And the handle is rubber. Oh, it only cost less than $10 at the store, hardware store. Okay. You don't have to be a professional painter. Newsflash. And I put masking tape down on the floor, and when I get all done, it's going to look like a professional did this. And I'm not a professional painter by any means. That's why I'm making these videos for you. Okay? To show you if I can do it, you can do it. Right? Okay? There. Just like that, and I am done with that. I've got to do the other side, this left-hand side. I don't know if I'm going to show you all that because I'm kind of in the way. I'm going to keep running the camera, I guess, and get you moved here. Maybe you can see a little bit of what I'm going to do here. Okay. And I had lightly sanded these, and these frames were like 17 years old. And so I lightly sanded them, and I caulked them anywhere where I needed to before. And see, I'm not gonna hit anything over there. If anything, I can just hit that where I started. Okay. If you got 17-year-old door frames like these, you wanna. I cleaned them with some simple green. I think in certain areas where the hinges were. Lots of times the hinges will spit black stuff on there. I did a really good job with that. And I cleaned them, then I lightly sanded them, and then I checked them to see if I needed to do anything else to them before I painted them. So you know, it's like it's all in the prep. It really is all in the prep when you're talking about painting. Okay. I know I should put a little bit more paint there. I'm trying to get a nice even coat on there. And see from here, up, 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 blend it. You see a little bit right there, up. Because your paint strokes are going to show, and your transitions between this little bit that I painted and that little bit and the next little bit will show if you don't finish your transitions like how I'm doing. Okay? I'm trying to keep my head out of the way. I don't want to go any further than that. I could go down further, but I can tell on my paintbrush there's only so far I can go depending on how much I dip in here. And if I do it about the same dipping, I know I can go down maybe a foot or so. I can get it all nice, and then I can go flat ways that way, or I can keep going this direction. Okay, like that. And I go down some more. Let's see if I can't get this finished. I'll try to stay out of your way as best I can. Okay. I'm only trying to get the same amount of paint as I did before and go down about the same. And I know the full body of the paint is about the same all the way, see? Now I can take that and blend it up or blend it down, a light touch, and then I know my transitions are gonna be fine. I call it transition between each paint bit that I put on the wall, okay? Take that down here. I want to be careful where I put that. In case I spill, I don't want it spilled way over there, right? Okay, I'm only going to go down about a foot or so. See there, I think I've gone too far. And so I'm gonna get myself a little bit more paint so I can finish this bit here. Okay? And I'm just trying to do this edge from here to there. Okay, there. That should be fine until I go some more. That time I'm only going to go, 8 inches, let's say, depending on how much paint I put on the paintbrush. Finish that far. It's not rocket science, and we're not in a race. And if I was painting the whole door jamb, I'd be doing it the same way. Okay. That craft paper moved on me, and I'm glad I put the masking tape all the way down on the floor. And so now, let's see how I'm going to do this. I can just work from bottom up. I'm not going to go all the way down, even though I probably could have, but I'm doing just about the same amount of paint as each time. Okay. Now I can go down there, and I can get my paintbrush right in there, the angle of the dangle, and finish her off. I was contemplating whether or not to even paint this door frame, this casing, because it was fairly close paint color as everything else. But I thought, It deserves to be painted the same. It'll match everything, and I'll know that I did a 100% job. And when that dries, I won't have any discoloration from the other color of the white on the paint jam or any of that. This thing is going to look all nice and pretty. And you know, once I get done cutting in, my next thing I've got to do in this bathroom, I got to cut in the walls and all that kind of stuff. But so this is going to allow this bit to dry and cure for a couple days before I put the door back on and the hinges and the strike plate. I even took the strike plate out. And it's always nice to do that. Don't try to Mickey Mouse it and leave the hinges on and think, oh, I'll be careful and I'll get it back behind there. You're never going to get it 100%, okay? You're just not. And if you're not in that big of a rush, take it off and do it right so that you don't get any paint on your door or your hinges or your strike plate or any of that kind of stuff. I went the extra mile, took that off. That thing's been sitting there. That door's been sitting against the wall for a few days now. And it can sit there until I'm done with this job. And once I get done with this entire job, it's going to look 100% professional, like a professional painter did it, and will look like I was never there. That's what you want when you're painting. Now see, I haven't been off this that long, and this is already skinning up. If I were to touch this, it's probably dry. I'm not going to touch it, but it's probably dry to the touch because it doesn't take very long for this stuff to start skinning up. Okay, so that's why when you start painting, you've got to, wherever you start, you've got to finish that row before. Don't think, okay, I'm going to be up there, so I'm going to reach as far as I can. I can only reach over to there, and then I can reach from the ladder from there down to there. Don't do that. If you start at the top, finish at the top, and then start the next bit of your door trim and start coming down and do the entire trim all the way down before you start doing the next one. If you're up on a ladder or something, don't just say, okay, I'm going to go from here down to there, and then from here down to there. Then I'm going to move my ladder. If you're doing an 8-foot tall door, let's say. Okay, don't do that, because then it's going to be hard for you to transition. You'll know what I mean, because the semi-gloss paint's going to start to get sticky as you try to blend it in, and you're not going to be able to blend it in. And you leave it, and then when it dries, you're going to see your stop and go marks from your paint brush. Your stop and go mark there, your stop and go mark there. You're going to say, oh, that's what he was talking about. Yeah. Once you start, you want to keep going all the way down. And if I was painting this door jamb, I would have done it an entirely different way. I've got a video of that on my channel. If you want to watch that, go to my main channel page on my YouTube channel and click on playlists, and then scroll down to painting, and I've got all my paint videos there. Okay? All right. This looks nice. Didn't really take me very long to do. And I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and then I'll pull that masking tape off. Don't forget to take your masking tape off, especially if you're going to do that when you're painting your edge. Okay? Because you don't want the paint, the masking tape to start getting sticky before you pull it off, or for it not to come off properly or anything like that because you left it on too long. Okay, remember that. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.